All right. Welcome back to the Malapert Smark Podcast. This is a very important episode. It is the penultimate episode. Actually, let me get to our blog post so we can have the audience read along with what's going on in our scheduling, because this is very important. Very important. Next week, a reminder, there's no show next week, all right? So we'll be watching WrestleMania. And then our last show before we go on hiatus will be the week after that on Sunday, April 27th. Let me introduce my panel today. Vlad, the wrestling expert, the Hall of Famer. How about that?
Yes. Just last week, I became a Hall of Famer for the first time in my life. It's pretty amazing. I'm still honored that I got such a reward. So, yes. I mean, what more can I say? I was almost embarrassed by that reaction, I tell you.
Hey, listen, who else invites you over and says, hey, we're going to make you a Hall of Famer? Shit. Well,
no one.
Right? All right. And my other panelist, my good friend, Robert, the Frozen Asian. Say what's up.
What's up?
All right. Cool. It's WrestleMania week, so we're excited. This is our last show before WrestleMania. We've been talking about WWE the whole year, so we've done the whole build-up for this whole year in pretty deep detail, in depth. And we're excited to watch the show, so we're just going to have a good weekend next week without doing a podcast. We're not going to have to worry about recording. We're just going to enjoy ourselves. And then we'll do our WrestleMania review the week after, and then we're going to say goodbye to the audience and take a break from wrestling, because, man, we are burnt out. At least I am. I don't know. From this podcast. But listen, I got another announcement. In case you guys didn't know, announcement number 2 for the day. Go to my hidden link. Last week we had a Hall of Famer.
I saw it this time. This time I'm prepared.
This time we had a Hall of Fame induction last week. At this time last week, to join my dog, Vlad, the wrestling expert, joined the Hall of Fame ranks of the Malapert Smark Podcast. And today, it is Robert, the Frozen Asian's turn.
Wow.
To be inducted, the third inductee into the Malapert Smark Hall of Fame. Date inducted April 13th, 2025. Mark it in your calendars. Accolades. His first appearance was on episode number 6 of the Malapert Smark Podcast on April 28th, 2023. Oh, this is wrong. I got to fix this. Robert is also certified in MMA, anime, and video games. Certified. Right. Certified in wrestling as well. That's the only reason he got this job, because he had the certification license. You know?
Yeah.
You think I just hire anybody, bro? No, bro. People have to be certified.
I have a certificate just like Max Caster.
And the best. Yes. But yours should say Frozen Asian, though.
Yes, that's right.
Well, Robert, I listed every episode you've been on since since this is episode 156, so up till 155. I calculated that you were in 121 out of 155 episodes. That gives you a 78.06%. And you had a 51 show streak from episode 48 to 98, where you showed up on every single episode. That's incredible.
I wasn't aware of these streaks. That's incredible.
So there it is, Robert the Frozen Asian. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. I had to induct you because although we're going on hiatus and we're planning on coming back at some point, like I mentioned last week, things happen. People die. What if I just die all of a sudden and I never got to induct you into the Hall of Fame? You're a Hall of Famer, man. You got to be in there. You got to be in the Malapert Smark Hall of Fame. I mean, if Michelle McCool is in the Hall of Fame of WWE, you're a freaking Hall of Famer for sure over here. So,
thank you.
Congratulations, man. And I really appreciate all the time you've been on these shows and all these episodes. It's been a great time for me, honestly.
Thank you.
All right. Well, moving on from that, from now on, we will be inducting more people, but I don't know who. So the 4th member of the Malapert Smark Hall of Fame is to be determined. But I think we're going to induct, wrestling people that we think are important. Or I'm thinking people that we've talked about on this show or have covered on this show, So already.
What about yourself? You have to be inducted.
No, you,
Or is this like a Vince McMahon thing? You don't want to be inducted into your own Hall of Fame.
a first ballot Hall of Famer.
I should induct myself. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's like one of those Vince things. Like I just said, Vince doesn't want to be in the Hall of Fame. Well, now he can't be in the Hall of Fame, but even before, he didn't want to be in the Hall of Fame. You know?
Yeah, I know. Well, that would be kind of silly, honestly. But you know what? If anyone deserves to be a Hall of Famer, it's me, man.
Oh, yeah.
You're right. But I was thinking, honestly, in terms of realistic candidates, because we covered WCW in 96, and Macho Man already had some Hall of Fame-worthy promos that we've covered, although we haven't covered all of Macho Man's career. I think we've covered enough that I would induct him into the Hall of Fame, honestly. And Ric Flair, a few really dynamite promos that, no pun intended. So those guys should be in our Hall of Fame. And then another one I was thinking of, I don't know if it'll be the next one, because I don't know, I have to maybe discuss this with you guys. Maybe I'll make you guys voters. We'll see. But I was thinking Tony Khan, because he's one of the reasons that we even started this show, that AEW did get interest back in wrestling. And some people might say that, WWE's rise was kind of pushed by AEW a little bit. So, although we criticize them a lot.
But only because they gave their two biggest stars that they had to that company, to WWE, yes. In a sense, they did push it.
So, yes.
Let's not focus on that.
But yeah, I mean, in terms of a wrestling figure, I think he's important. And talk about a Malapert Smark. He is the ultimate Malapert Smark, like literally. So, he is on my short list for.
I think he's just a mark, honestly. I don't think there's anything smarky about him, but that's just my opinion. He's a money mark at the very least, because he does have the money. You can't deny that. He does have money.
All right. Well, we got a lot to talk about today. It is WrestleMania week. We don't know what's happening on Raw tomorrow, but nonetheless, we're still going to do our predictions for the card as we have it right now. So. But that's coming up, all right? Before that, let me get to my blog post for this episode number 156, and I'll go through it in order. So topic number 3. All right, so I do want to do one topic from the week of a review of a storyline or an angle that happened. And this was from Monday Night Raw on our review, which me and Robert and Vlad did. It's storyline number 7. So I'm going to skip to that. If anybody wants to go through our full Raw review, thumbs up, thumbs down for every storyline, it's in the description below. But I'm going to skip through a lot of this, actually all of it today, because we just don't have time. We have a lot of things we want to cover, and we're going to do our retro review later on too. So now Paul Heyman supposedly owes Seth Rollins a favor, although I don't know if we will take that seriously or tongue-in-cheek. But let me go through some highlights of what happened this past Monday on Raw before I go through the reviews and ask Vlad and Robert what they think of this whole thing. So here's what happened. Paul Heyman came out to cut a promo because this was the show after the favor, right? So CM Punk revealed the favor he wants from Heyman is that Heyman is going to be in his corner instead of Roman's, right? So what did Heyman say when he came out? He said, I can be loyal to both guys, something like that. I'm not going to be disloyal to Roman just because I'm loyal to Punk or whatever. Some bullshit. And really, this was the first time I kind of thought, not the first time. There has been good segments from Seth Rollins before, although overall his gimmick has been criticized by Vlad in particular on this show. But this episode, the scene he had with Paul Heyman, I thought was pretty damn awesome. So he comes out and he starts, I'm going to really summarize quickly here. But in the end, he just is kind of tired of him and he wants to get rid of him. He's like, what can I do? How can I get rid of you? Starts, speaking to him in an intimidating fashion. And he starts to try to egg him on to see how long it'll take before somebody comes and saves him. Right? Is that what happened? He starts kind of pushing him and doing disrespectful things to him. Slaps him in the face, I think. There you go. And then Heyman got mad. Heyman actually got fired up a little bit, although he can't fight. And then I think right when Seth Rollins grabs him and starts shoving him, that's when finally CM Punk's music hits. And they come out and they have a pull apart. Well, not a pull apart, but CM Punk runs in and they have a fight. Actually, no pull apart yet. They actually do let them fight. So in the end, CM Punk got curb stomped. So he ran into the ring and Seth Rollins kind of got him with a curb stomp. And when Paul Heyman runs to check on him, Seth Rollins had a chance to curb stomp Paul Heyman as well, but he didn't do it, right? He looks at him. He actually had a really good chance to do it. And then because of that, he's like, you know what? Since I didn't kill you, you owe me a favor. So I don't know. We'll look into the merits of this as we break this down in depth, but it was a cool moment nonetheless. Let's see what some reviews. Let's see what you guys thought about this in our review post, if I can pull that up. Let's see. Me and Robert, 2 thumbs up. Okay. Me and Robert with the really liked it. Vlad with the thumbs up, he liked it. Okay. Yeah. All right, so we're going to do our predictions for that later on. But I think the reason I wanted to bring this segment up in particular before we go into deep about who we think is going to win and what's going to happen, I was kind of confused. I don't know if there's something I misheard or didn't hear, or there was a moment why we were told that Punk wasn't there with Heyman. I mean, he just asked the guy to be in his corner, and now he goes out there, and he lets him cut a promo on his own, okay. But then he starts getting harassed and pushed around by Seth Rollins, and it takes him a long time to come out. That was the hole in the plot that I saw. I don't know why he wasn't there quicker. So I did give it 2 thumbs up, but I still like the segment. Overall, I like the idea of the triple threat at this point. They've made us interested in it. And Seth Rollins, the favor. I don't know. I think something could come of that. Seth Rollins is now owed a favor. I don't know. He did kind of save his life there by not killing him. So, okay. I'll start with Vlad. Thumbs up. Any comments on what I said about CM Punk not being out there sooner, and anything else you have to say about this segment?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good point. You did bring up a good point. He could have been out there with him. Yeah, I'm trying to defend it or see if I could come up with any rationale why he wouldn't be there. I don't know. I mean, he probably didn't think that Rollins was going to do anything to him, but I don't know why not. But anyways, as far as, I don't really want to overthink that whole situation. You're right, there is some sort of logical thing there that they could have tightened up. But, I liked it. Seth was great here. This is the Seth that I want. This is the only Seth that I've ever wanted.
Yes.
I mean, as a heel, he works great. But not like the annoying, laughing, stupid heel that, that all that stuff that he does. This is the type of heel that he needs to be. I thought this was a fantastic segment. He was tremendous. Paul, of course, is always great. I mean, like I said, the facials, the acting scared, he does everything well, obviously, with Heyman. And I'm sure he's one of the main reasons that the segment was a success, because I'm sure he put his own little thing on it. But overall, I mean, it makes me more interested in WrestleMania, the main event, or one of the main events, or however they're wording the Saturday main event, I guess, let's call it that. I have an idea of what I think might happen, but I guess we'll talk about that in the predictions. I want to save that for that. But this was a great segment. I'm happy when Seth is used correctly. I hope Seth continues to be used seriously like this. And yeah, I mean, what else can I say? It was a very good segment, and I can't wait to see now what happens at the triple threat. I'll leave it at that.
All right, cool. Robert, you go. This is the only storyline we're reviewing today, so let's hear your thoughts. 2 thumbs up from Robert.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, I agree with you as far as there's like a illogical plot hole of CM Punk not being there, but I mean, this happens all the time in wrestling. It's kind of expected for, stuff like this to happen. So for dramatic effect, someone's got to be in the back to eventually come out later on for the save. So it's a common thing in wrestling. So I don't think it's a big deal personally for me.
No.
The thing that's confusing for me is I don't really buy this whole Paul Heyman owing Seth Rollins a favor. That I don't buy. That's the part that's confusing. I'm like, so what? Just because he didn't curb stop him?
I guess
yeah,
that's a tease for our predictions. So you don't
Right.
see Paul Heyman turning towards Seth Rollins,
Well,
then, huh?
well, I'll get to our predictions later, but I just don't think that I just don't buy this idea that now Paul Heyman owes Seth a favor, because
I think he
to,
does.
to owe someone a favor, there has to be like an agreement, right? Beforehand, like I do this for you, you do this for me, and
Well, Seth should really curb stomp him now if
Okay.
he doesn't give him a favor. That's what I say. But okay.
Yeah, curb stomp him at WrestleMania. But that's
there you go.
that's neither here. No, but I don't think it would be. Joining forces, I don't see as a good fit. Like I don't see it as something that. I don't see him completely as a Paul Heyman guy, if you know what I mean. I just don't see it. But we'll see. Anything could happen, I guess. But
Okay, then I'm gonna move along from that. If you want the rest of our Raw review, it's in the description below. And also on top of that, not just Raw, but we're gonna skip like every show this week. I just want to jump to our WrestleMania predictions. So these are shows that I have reviews of done, thumbs up, thumbs down reviews from the week. And everyone who is listening who has nothing to do can go through all these and get all my thoughts on every angle in depth. Vlad and Robert feature on the Smackdown review, and Robert features on the NXT review, and I did Evolve and Impact all by myself. So AEW we'll get to later on in the day, so we'll talk about that after our WrestleMania predictions, just for a little bit, because I know it's WrestleMania week. No need to spend a lot of time on AEW at the moment. But okay, let's get to it, man. WrestleMania 41. I can't believe we're here again. So this I got from Wikipedia. So everything I got from here is like what they said is going to be on night 1 and night 2. So I got WrestleMania night 1. The first match they listed is Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte, the incumbent. So wait, Tiffany Stratton, the champion, going in. Sorry. And this is for the WWE title, the women's title. So, all right. I don't know who to start with. Robert, you want to make a prediction on this? I'm going to fill this in and as we're going along. So, Tiffany or Charlotte, WWE title.
This is a very difficult one to predict for me. All right. I'm trying to like separate, who I want to win from like who I actually expect to win. That's like competing with each other. I want Tiffany to go over, but I wouldn't be surprised if Charlotte is the one that wins. But well, no matter the outcome, I think the feud doesn't end here. It'll probably continue on into SummerSlam, possibly. Maybe, I don't know, but man, I had to choose one. I'll go with Charlotte in this one.
All right. Robert with the pick on Charlotte. I go with Tiffany. I'm going with Tiffany. I already got mine locked in. Vlad, what's up? What do you think is going on here?
Yeah, I'll have to agree with Keon on this one. I think it's going to be Tiffany. I think the point of originally was to get the young wrestler over, putting a main event women's wrestler with Tiffany, like Charlotte. Now, there's been a lot of chaos in this that we've covered in this whole feud. It makes predictions kind of hard, but I still think that's the end goal, is to get Tiffany over. So, because they see her as the future. They see her as the future.
Oh yeah, I just want to point out that I hope you guys are right.
Yeah. I mean, I think
I'm making a prediction as to what I think will happen, but I hope my prediction is wrong.
Well, I'll say this. There's I don't want to take too much time because we have a lot of stuff, but
Right.
I think it would be really not really good booking in this case for Charlotte to go over, because Charlotte's whole thing of the reason that she's getting booed. I mean, I love her. I personally love her, but the reason that she's getting booed so much is that she's always on top and she's always in the main event and she's always winning.
Right.
I think here, if they give her another win here, I think it's just going to be a really awful look. So I don't expect them to. So yeah,
She did put Rhea over last year, clean. So
she did, and that is considered by many one of the great women's matches of all time, if not the best women's matches of all time, of course. So yeah, I agree.
All right, cool. All right, we got it locked in then. A lot on the line here for these WrestleMania predictions, bragging rights mostly. All right, next one. Naomi and Jade Cargill. So Jade Cargill's first, I think, prominent. I think she was in WrestleMania last year, but this is the first singles one where she's like being featured.
It was a tag match.
All right, so we'll start with Vlad then. What do you think?
I mean, this got to be Jade. I mean, this is a no-brainer. I think this should be a fairly quick. I think it's actually going to be a fairly quick match, honestly, too. I mean, I actually enjoyed the feud. Some of the build-up has been really good, surprisingly. But yeah, I think Jade should win in a fairly quick match. Yeah, I'll leave it at that.
All right, Robert.
Jade.
Yeah,
easy.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if Naomi won, but yeah, I'm going with Jade.
No, me too, definitely. I don't see this going any other way than that. I would be surprised as well. All right, moving along. Let's see what else we got. The next one on our WrestleMania card for night one. I don't know who figured that these are all going to be on night one or night two, but whatever. All right, we got the War Raiders and New Day. So New Day getting a WrestleMania match, a world title match, world tag title match after their heel turn. So here we go. I mean, I'll start with this one. I'll say New Day. I think they'll win the titles. I think they got to. That's my prediction. Robert, what do you think?
Same. I mean, they were involved in one of the best heel turns of last year, so it's time for that to have a payoff, and I think they should get the titles.
All right, so this is the beginning of a good heel run then for New Day. All right, Vlad, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think it is going to be the New Day. I just want to say that I don't think they've done this correctly. If they've wanted them to be the world champ, like tag team champions, like ever since they turned heel, the booking has been really uneven for them. I feel they haven't really pushed them that well. I still feel, but given that the War Raiders are good wrestlers, but they're not really doing that much, really. Honestly, I don't think as tag team champions, it might as well be the New Day as a heel champions. I say.
Okay, cool. Next one is LA Knight and Jacob Fatu. That's a tough one. Who wants to start with this one? Anybody's for sure. Go ahead and blurt it out because I'm still thinking myself.
I'm going with Jacob Fatu.
Yeah,
he's on the rise. I mean, LA Knight is still very much over, but Jacob Fatu is the one that I think the company should push, and this is his time to shine. So
I feel like I'm just in a class copying Robert's homework. I'm going with Jacob as well. All right, fine.
I guess that's three of us because we're all copying off Robert's paper. Yeah, I agree. I think it should be Jacob. I personally, I've said so many positive things about him. I like LA Knight too, but Jacob Fatu is just the man. He's tremendous.
All right, next one. Let's see. Hold on, did I update that one? Yes, showed up. Nice. I'm typing on my phone and I'm pressing refresh, and it shows up.
This is it right here.
Yes. All right. What do you think of this, Robert? The two masked luchadors, Rey Mysterio and El Grande Americano. The new guy on the scene.
Yes.
Interesting matchup. We don't know much about El Grande Americano.
Yeah, I know nothing. I know nothing about this guy. This El Grande Americano. His debut was incredible. What a way to start for a new wrestler. Yeah. I'm gonna go with El Grande Americano. I'm gonna go with him. I don't know. I just think it would be. Because no, he's not Chad Gable. Chad Gable was on a journey of trying to figure out how to beat luchadors, and he's clearly not him. So never mind. It's not Chad Gable. It's El Grande Americano. He's on a hot streak. He's 2-0 in his since his debut. So I think it's gonna extend to 3-0 in WrestleMania.
All right. I think I got to agree with Robert. I'm going with El Grande Americano, too, to take out the legend, Rey Mysterio, and probably keep this feud going for all intents and purposes. So, Vlad, what do you think?
I think, yes, I agree with you guys. It's going to be El Grande. And by the way, this is one of the greatest luchadors of all time, guys. You guys don't need to watch some more underground wrestling. This guy's a legend. This guy's a legend. I mean, deep underground, like literally in the sewers. But no, he's gonna get unmasked as well. You
think he's gonna get unmasked here?
Yeah.
After the match, like he'll win, but then he'll get unmasked. That's pretty.
Yeah.
That's like the worst. That's the worst thing that could happen to a luchador.
I know.
Man.
Exactly. It's gonna be. There will be tears.
Well, I don't know if I see that happening so soon, but I guess it's a possibility.
I don't know. I do it now at WrestleMania when people are actually going to be watching. So, that's just a prediction.
Jesus Christ! Vlad, this night one. Other than Roberts disagreeing with us for Tiffany and Charlotte, we all have the same predictions, which is making me think that this is a very predictable WrestleMania because I'm pretty sure we're right about Charlotte, but. I'm a little disappointed with that, but okay, this is the one that might be a little unpredictable.
Yeah,
is the one we just talked about, the Roman Reigns and CM Punk and Seth Rollins with Paul Heyman as the special referee. So, all right, who wants to go first on this one?
Go ahead, Vlad.
Oh boy, this is the toughest of the toughest.
This is hard to talk about who's going to win because it doesn't really matter who's going to win. Like, there's nothing on the line. There's no title. I mean, I guess they could say whoever wins really deserves the next title shot or something like that in such a high-profile matchup, something like this. But there's really nothing on the line. So that's why it's kind of hard for me to figure out what's going to happen.
Yeah, this is a really tough one. I could go a number of different ways. I'm just going to go Seth. That's my prediction. I think Seth is going to win.
All right, okay. Interesting. All right, Robert?
Okay, so before I give my prediction, I just want to say in this past Raw, there was a video package about Paul Heyman and CM Punk's friendship, with them calling each other their, best friends, right? And then as I was watching that video package, I'm thinking, man, there has to be a turn. I have this feeling that there's going to be a turn. Yeah, from Paul. Yes. Mm-hmm. Just because, it just feels like
turn on who? Turn on to help Roman, or
probably, yeah. I think so. Because it just feels to me. I don't know if obvious is the right word. I feel like they're trying to hint, at a turn against CM Punk, just because they kept emphasizing, that they're best friends in that video package. I'm like, okay. Something's up about that. So I don't know. I'm gonna go with this is a really hard one, but I'm gonna go with Roman Reigns.
Okay.
Roman Reigns, huh? Man. Yeah. Well, I don't see. Man, I have no idea. I would like to, we were talking earlier in the storyline that we just reviewed on Raw, how it doesn't seem like Heyman can go with Seth, but
yeah.
I don't think I mind that idea as much as you guys. I think it would throw everyone off. I think everyone expects him to be with Roman or Punk, and I don't mind the idea. Personally,
so you're saying, even though I went with Seth, you're saying it's going to be because Paul helps Seth win the match.
No, I don't think that's going to happen. I wish it happened, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Okay.
But I think I'm going to just go with you, Vlad. I'm going to go with Seth Rollins. I'm not really sure, you know, but
I just have a feeling like something's going to happen with the whole Paul and Roman and Punk are going to cancel each other out somehow, and Seth is just going to steal a victory somehow. Mm-hmm. That's just the way I see it happening. But we'll see.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, action. All right. Sorry about that, people. We're back. We had technical difficulties for a minute during our predictions for the triple threat main event of night 1. So just to review what we said was going to happen, me and Vlad are going with Seth, and Robert's going with Roman Reigns. No one's saying CM Punk. All right, fine. Poor CM Punk. So we're going to move on to night 2 then. Okay, so this is the WWE World Title match. It's Io Sky, the champion, versus Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley in a triple threat match. So it's here. It happened. We all knew it was going to happen, and it did happen. So, okay. Who has a prediction on this one?
I guess I'll start this one as well. Ooh, this is another tough one. I think it's gonna. I think it's gonna be Bianca. I'm going with Bianca. I think that's how I'd book it at the very least. I'd book it with Bianca as the winner.
Okay. Robert, you got any ideas here?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Bianca also. My logic for picking her is, well, first off, I think Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley. If there was if we ranked female wrestlers by tiers, Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley are at the very top tier. Like they're on a tier above everybody else. Like to me, everybody else is under them. They're one and 1A to me in for when it comes to female wrestlers, and you can make an argument for Rhea being 1, Bianca 1A, or the other way around. That there you won't get an argument from me there. But I think it's those two. Now, why I'm choosing Bianca is because Rhea Ripley has had some recent title reigns, right? While Bianca, it's been a minute for her, so I'm gonna go with Bianca.
Yeah.
All right. And I'm the only one, I guess. This is not so easy to pick either, but compared to some of the ones from night one that are pretty obvious, I think. But I'm going with Io Sky.
She shouldn't even be in the match. Okay, but
she shouldn't be in the match.
I know she's the champion. I know. That's the funny
world
part.
champion. So
I know that's the funny part.
I don't know. I think they could squeeze a little bit out of having her be the champion for a little while, and I don't know. I think I could go with Bianca too. I guess I could see it going with Rhea. So I don't know. This is a toss-up.
I agree. It's tough.
Let me move on. I don't like this matchup, but I'm a huge AJ Styles fan. I'm not a fan of Logan Paul. I don't dislike him as a person, but I just don't think he's not an interesting wrestler, in my opinion. He doesn't have an interesting gimmick. His gimmick is himself, which is a terrible gimmick. Yeah, it's so I don't know. I'm not a fan of AJ being used here to put Logan Paul over, but obviously this seems like it's what's happening. So I'm going with Logan Paul, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. There's a chance that they could really put on a good match, though. I think that's what the hope would be, that they could have some sort of like they could steal the show type of thing, Yeah. But yeah, I agree. It's Logan Paul, and I agree with your criticism, or at least your analysis of Logan Paul as a character. There's a lot of truth that he really isn't a wrestling character. He's basically himself and kind of a douchebag. So that's kind of what he is in real life, and that's what he is in WWE. So yeah.
Okay.
Robert, any chance for AJ, old AJ here, the phenomenal one?
I'm gonna go with Logan Paul also. Again, just like with the Tiffany Charlotte thing, I need to separate like who I want to win from who I expect to win, right? Same thing, and just like with my Charlotte pick, I'm going with Logan here. I also am not a fan of Logan Paul. However, that being said, every time I see him in a PLE, to me he delivers, man. Like I have no complaints about him. Like when the bell rings, up to the end of the match, he's really, really good for someone that's not been around for a while. So yeah, as much of I dislike him outside of the ring, once the match starts, he's terrific to me.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, he's terrific. Adam Cole is terrific too. That's great. Moving on.
Okay.
Liv Morgan.
Why do we mention Adam Cole?
Baby.
Because it doesn't matter if he's terrific in the ring. That's not what matters in wrestling. There's a lot of good workers. There's a lot of people who could put on good matches. Okay, I know
It matters.
gonna-
Like, I mean, it does matter.
He's gonna do a high flying spot. He's gonna jump off like the corner onto the announce table or some shit like that. Great for him, but it doesn't matter. Like, good matches don't really matter if there's not the storylines that go along with it. So
Oh, that's true. That's true. That part's true. The story has to be there too.
This hasn't really been a good storyline, really.
Yeah.
Although they did have one decent promo battle that I thought AJ got some good lines in, but
well, I'm just saying
along.
he consistently surprises me. Well, maybe not anymore, but especially towards the beginning of his career, like I didn't expect him to do well, but he did. So that's all I'm saying about that.
Okay, I mean, he's also a semi-celebrity. We got to remember this. Like, people knew him before WWE, so that's why he gets like preferential treatment, and he's shot up to the top of the card like this. But okay, the WWE tag titles, the on the women's side. So Liv and Raquel are facing Lyra and Bayley, who went through a whole gauntlet of 5 teams. I think they won 5 matches in a row on Monday night to earn this shot at this at this title. So I don't know if this is an interesting matchup to you, Vlad, but I still need a prediction. What do you think?
This is like one of those definitely, as they call, bathroom break matches or smoke break matches, as some would say. Yeah, but I mean, Liv and Raquel are going to win. I mean, I'm almost 100% on that.
Okay. Yeah, I think so too. I think we might even see a heel turn from Bayley.
Yeah, they've been kind of teasing something with that, yeah? A little bit.
Yeah, so that's what I'm going with. I'm not sure on the heel turn. Maybe now, maybe later. Maybe not, but okay. Robert, are you in agreement? Liv and Raquel?
Liv and Raquel, yes. I don't know about the heel turn, but I don't think Bayley and Lyra Valkyria have been together long enough to develop any like sort of chemistry with each other. I don't know. It's not an intriguing matchup for me personally, but I'm gonna go with Liv and Raquel.
Yeah, it seems very slapped together, this one.
Yeah.
But okay. Another interesting matchup. This is a fatal 4-way. It's Bron Breakker's Intercontinental title against Penta, Finn Balor, and Dominic. And Finn and Dominic are in the same stable. So there's going to be some drama there about them not wanting to let the other one get the pin or something like this. So Penta's in there. He's had a good push. I don't know if anyone expects him to get a WWE title this early. Dominic, maybe some people have been saying he deserves a run because he's been a really good worker. I don't see Finn Balor winning this one. All right, let's see. Anybody got any ideas?
Robert, you want to go first? Or you want me to go first? I'll go first if you want me to go first.
Anyone who has a prediction, because I know some of us just be sitting there thinking. So if anyone actually knows who's going to win.
No, honestly, I don't know, but I have a guess.
I think I'm going to go with Dominic on this one.
Really?
I think I'm with that one, yeah. I see that happening. I see him becoming Intercontinental Champion.
Well, let me ask this, because I can't recall now. Is this Bron Breakker's second WrestleMania or first WrestleMania match? Because that's important.
I don't remember what he did.
Was he in last year's WrestleMania? I can't remember.
I can't remember either.
Well, I guess my point is, if this is his first, he should win. Because he's going to be the future of this company in like 5 years, or maybe a little longer. I don't know, but he's the future of this company. He should win. But if he did something last year, which I can't recall, then maybe somebody else could win it. But I'm going to go with Bron. All right,
Robert. While I look up what happened last year with Bron Breakker, what do you think?
I think so this is gonna be the one where all 3 of us have a different pick. Then I'm gonna go with Penta. And I don't have like a logical reason for picking him. I just there's a fantasy booking in my head that I want to see play out, and I hope it does. I hope that Penta wins this title, and at some point, hopefully in the very, very near future, there's going to be a matchup between Penta and El Grande Americano.
I I thought you wanted him to fight his brother.
No, not Ray Phoenix, Penta and El Grande Americano, because
the real luchador.
The real luchador, yes.
Not that fake stuff Ray Phoenix is doing.
Exactly. So that's the fantasy booking that I hope will play out soon. But that's really my only reason for picking Penta. But I have really no other idea who would win this match.
All right, well, that's an interesting one. That's going to be a chance for one of us to take an advantage on the predictions leaderboard. Mm-hmm. And no pick for Finn Balor. Nobody picking Finn Balor. I could see that being a surprise, too, that Finn comes out of this and saves the Judgment Day. Because if he wins that, he's going to be so happy, the Judgment Day will just keep going. So I could see that. I don't know. If he doesn't win it and Dominic wins it, I don't know if Judgment Day can carry on like that, because Finn is just going to be too jealous. So we'll see. All right, next one. Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre, Sin City Street Fight. Oh, man. It's a tough one. I think I got to go with Drew on this one, man. I'm going with Drew McIntyre. He needs a win. Poor guy.
Yeah, I kind of have to agree. I mean, for the work he's done, he's easily been one of the best wrestlers, just one of the best characters that they have. I have to go with Drew as well. To reward a guy for the amazing work that he's done, I think he should win this WrestleMania match.
So the heel's going to go over here in the street fight, okay? Interesting booking from Vlad.
Oh, man, this is a tough one for me. Well, I'm going to go with Drew also.
Interesting. I mean, I could see Damian winning as a babyface, because Triple H is kind of a babyface booker. Try to give everyone like their happy ending. Especially if Cena wins the main event, maybe some baby faces have to win.
After the embarrassment that Drew experienced in last year's WrestleMania, I think he needs a victory here. Well, I mean, he got a victory last year too, but what happened after that was kind of embarrassing. He needs to get a good win and not have something dumb happen right after that. So I'm gonna go with Drew.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right then. And then the main event, the main event of the evening. I had an extra question that I texted you guys earlier today. In addition to who do you think is going to win, I was also asking how you would book it personally, like what you think should happen. So I don't know if you guys thought about that at all throughout the day. So let's see. Big question here. Big question. Cena or Cody? Robert, Cena or Cody?
Man.
Why does he look like Darth Sidious?
Yeah. Dude, I don't know, man. Shoot.
Vlad, what's up with you? You don't know?
I know, but I think I know how I would do it. But I'm just Robert. You don't want to guess first? I'll go. I'll say
you can start with how you would do it first, and then what you think is going to happen.
How I would do it. Well,
how would you do it? How would you do this, Vlad? Vlad the Booker.
There has to be. Well, first of all, okay, I'll just have Cena win first. I'll say that off the bat. But there has to be crazy interference in this thing for Cena to win. There has to be this insane amount of stuff happening throughout the match, and I think there will be some interference. Like, I know it's not a no DQ. This is not one of those what the hell do they call it? Matches, bloodline rules matches or whatever. But I think there will be a spot where the referee is down. Like, there'll be a bump. The referee will go down, and all hell will break loose. I expect to see The Rock. I think he's got to be there.
Is this your prediction, or is this what you think? What you want to happen?
I think. What I want?
What are you answering right now? I'm sorry, Vlad. I'm confused. What are you saying particularly? Your prediction or what you would do?
Actually, great question. Because honestly, I probably confused myself. I've overbooked this thing already. No, I think this is what's going to happen. This is the way Cena's going to win, and I do think he's going to win. It's going to be because of The Rock's help. I don't know who's going to come out for Cody. There'll probably be something. It won't be as crazy as last year where everybody was there, but there will be some interference. There'll be some shenanigans, and Cena will win probably takes The Rock. And how I would do it, I'd probably do something similar. Honestly, I think Cena has to win. Personally, I think he has to win. I mean, like they can't do what they did and not have Cena win at WrestleMania. So, how they go about doing it is up to them. But Cena has to be the champion coming out of WrestleMania. So yeah, I'll leave it at that.
All right. I'll tell you how I would book this. Well, there's two ways I would book this, okay? Because Kahan the Booker would be a lot like Vince Russo. Actually, Vince Russo really don't got shit on me, honestly. I think Vince Russo's kind of tame.
Wow.
So if I were to book this like exciting, like how I would book wrestling, this is how I would do it. So I would have Cody interviewed before the show started, like right before night one starts. And he's doing an interview backstage, and it's like, no, not that important. And then he gets attacked from behind by Cena with a slapjack. Bam! Right in his head. Fucking gushing blood already. Starts bleeding, drags his ass to the ring. They start fight walking to the ring, right? And Cena is beating his ass bloody. And the show just started, night one. And then Cena gets the mic and he's like, I want this fucking match to start now. And then The Rock starts the match because he's The Rock. So they start the match and Cena wins the title right on night one at the beginning. Then we're chaos. Everyone's like, what the hell's going on? What's going to be the main event of night two? They're trying to find Triple H to interview him. And Triple H is like, I don't know. I'll figure this out. So that'll be like the running thread throughout the night. And then Triple H books a rematch on night two on the main event. And then Cody wins it back. How about that?
Oh, gosh.
No?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's how I would do it. Okay? But if you want me to book it how I would do it within the realm of possibility, here's how I would do it. Like you said, Vlad, I would have Cena win, and I would have no interference. I would just have the referee not count the three. The three! Where's the three?
What? Oh, like a Jim Ross moment.
Yes, that's how I would do it. No interference, because they haven't set up any interference yet.
That's true.
I mean, so if we're going to talk about this logically in terms of what's going on right now, not my crazy Vince Russo booking, they haven't set up any friends. They haven't even had The Rock been around.
This is all true.
So that's how I would do it. I wouldn't have crazy interference because it wouldn't make sense at this point. I would just have something simple. Maybe Cena just cheating, with the referee behind his back. Just use a weapon, something simple where he could just get out of there with the title. So that's how.
That's fair.
That's how I would do it. How I think they're gonna do it, I think I'm with you. I think Cena's gonna get out of here with the title. Cena's gonna win. How they're gonna do it? I don't know. I want to say I'm seeing The Rock come in and just get on the apron and distract the ref, but I don't really see that happening either. I don't know.
He doesn't even have to distract the ref. He just has to tell the ref to don't count.
He should just give me your shirt. Take off your shirt and give it to me, and then put it on himself.
Yeah, that's like a Vince moment. I'll be the referee.
I'm having a hard time seeing exactly how Cena's going to win, to be honest. But we haven't watched Raw yet, so we're recording this on a Sunday, and everyone was expecting Cena to have like a beatdown of Cody.
Yeah.
And I don't know. If that happens, that remains to be seen. I don't expect it to happen. But since it hasn't happened, that's why I expect Cena to win, because he hasn't beaten Cody's ass. You know what I mean?
That's right.
So, all right, the last guy then.
So,
Robert.
My prediction. So, if this was John Cena's last advertised appearance in WWE, I would have said he loses. But since he's booked for certain dates throughout the year until I think December, I want to say, I think he does go over in this match. He wins. How he wins, I don't know. I can't think of specific details, but there has to be some involvement by The Rock. It has to. Even if The Rock makes no appearance this coming Raw or SmackDown, you're gonna see him in WrestleMania, for sure. It has to happen.
All right. Robert's saying we're gonna see The Rock.
Well, I agree. He's gonna be there.
So yes, that's gonna be all John Cena for us.
All right. That's it then. All right, cool. That'll conclude our WrestleMania prediction show. This is episode 156 of the Malapert Smark Podcast. Thank you for anyone out there who's listening. John Cena, unanimous, 3 votes, 3-0. So cool. All right, so we'll see you guys on Sunday. I guess you guys are invited to my house.
I just love Kalen's booking of this thing. And he's going to hit him with a slapjack. And he's going to be gushing. And there'll be blood everywhere. And then he'll take him to the ring. And then they'll start the match right as the show starts. And he'll be the champion. And then on night 2, they'll have a fucking rematch.
He out Vince Russo.
I could out Vince Russo. I'm telling you.
Oh, God.
That's how I would book exciting wrestling, bro. Like, come on. We're making us wait 2 years for this shit. Okay, whatever. We're here now. We've waited 2 years, and now let's see what fucking happens. 2 years. We waited 10 years to see this John Cena thing. So,
That's true.
all right. You're invited over, both of you guys. So I'll see you at my house on Saturday and Sunday. But honestly, I'm not really digging this card. What we just went over. A lot of it seems kind of predictable, basic matches that I would expect to see on WWE Saturday night's main event.
No, I wouldn't go that far, but yeah, I mean, there's always
LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu, Logan Paul versus AJ Styles. Like, come on. This is a TNA Impact main event, not a fucking WrestleMania match. They want me to sit here for 8 hours and watch these matches. Like, these are all right matches. Like Jade Cargill versus Naomi. I like the feud, but that one I don't really want to see as a match, to be honest. But okay,
That's why I said I hope it's quick.
I know. I think this is a one match card. This is like that Buried Alive match.
I don't know.
Buried Alive.
Come on.
This is Cena. If Cena and Cody didn't happen, this would be a bullshit card, honestly.
I don't completely agree, but there's other stuff that's not that bad. Definitely not as bad as the Buried Alive pay-per-view.
Did we? Okay, maybe my memory's really bad, but did we talk about Jey Uso and Gunther?
Oh, we didn't. We didn't talk about Jey Uso.
You know what? For some
I'm like,
reason,
hold up. Am I tripping here?
No, you're not tripping.
Okay.
We skipped it.
All right, you know what? While we do that, I should probably go to Wikipedia and see if we freaking skipped anything else by accident. But all right, yes, you guys go through it. Gunther and
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
Jey Uso.
I think, Robert, you can go ahead. I think we're going to agree on this one as well.
Again, the same thing I said about AJ Styles and Logan. I have to separate who I want to win from who I expect to win. I think Jey Uso finally goes over in this match. But I really hope it's Gunther, but I don't see that happening.
No, there's no fucking way. This is Jey Uso for sure.
Yeah, this is 100% Jey Uso. It's going to be I think it's going to be a pretty good match, but the way they built up the feud, I mean, if he doesn't win, he's dead. There's at this point for Uso, he has to win. If he doesn't win,
so there you go.
They don't believe in him as a main eventer anymore if he loses, for sure.
That's another predictable booking, man. So the whole first night to me is very predictable.
Sometimes it goes that way in wrestling. Sometimes.
It's Triple H booking, not sometimes. It's Triple H booking. Okay, night 2. Did I miss anything here? 6 matches on night 2? I think we got all these.
No, you got those. Yeah, we talked about all those.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. Back to our blog post. All right, so we're done with WrestleMania. AEW. Should we even spend 5 minutes on this? God.
It's up to you, man.
All those 5 minutes will be you guys because I didn't watch Dynamite.
I'm gonna put 5 minutes on the clock, literally. Once the clock hits flat.
You're asking the guy that has AEW sucks on his background if we should talk about AEW.
Well, this is an unceremonious end to our coverage of AEW. For 2 years we've been covering them, and this might be the last one we're gonna do for a good while. So. Dynasty, it was the fallout from Dynasty. And Robert, I don't know if you heard, but the Young Bucks gave their explanation for why they did it, right?
Oh, did it?
They did it for Hangman Page because, he hates
Really?
Swerve.
Wow. Okay.
You know how he hates Swerve so bad, right? So and he was like, on the fence about attacking Swerve, so they had to do what he had trouble doing for him. So, no, but that was a little tongue in cheek. They did say also that they're considering an alliance with the Death Riders, that they've been sitting out and they've decided, well, yeah, we left because of you, but we figured that we're not all that dissimilar, basically.
Interesting. Okay.
And then, so Kenny Omega came out and he was like, pissed at the Young Bucks.
Wait, hold on. So, sorry, I'm thinking in my head as you're explaining this to me. So, I predicted that maybe they had formed an alliance even before Dynasty began.
No, they offered it. They offered it now. They're like, let's join up. So we haven't heard back from the Death Riders, but okay. So there's that. Kenny Omega was mad at the Young Bucks for all this, so he challenged them to fight, and then more drama with Swerve and Hangman, which I liked, and then also Swerve is continuing on with the Death Riders, feuding with the Death Riders. So, and then also the Ops. The Ops are thrown in there too. So Samoa Joe is also feuding with the Death Riders. So there's all kinds of stuff going on here. I had to break this whole fallout of this whole clusterfuck. I broke it into 6 parts, like 6 separate storylines in one storyline, subplots I called them, of the Death Riders fallout to defending the world title at Dynasty. So, I don't know. I mean, it's not the greatest of storylines, I think. It's okay to me. I didn't mind it. Some of the things were funny to me. Like the Young Bucks offering to align with the Death Riders. I think a lot of people think that's death. To me, it's okay. I don't mind it. But Vlad, I know you don't care about this, but I mean, we could skim through this whole blog post right here and see if there's any other.
The only thing I thought that could be interesting is Jericho actually finally taking a break? Is he leaving for real?
Oh, Jericho, yeah.
Is that like I don't care about the rest of this stuff. The MJF stuff was okay. The MJF stuff with the Hurt Syndicate was cool, but
yeah, Jericho finally snapped on the learning tree. So yeah, he did. He started breaking the set and everything, and he just snapped. He didn't make sense. He just went crazy. So,
but I mean, he looked like he said that he needs to step away or something. He did say that, right? And the crowd was thinking what I was thinking, probably, yes, thank God.
Yeah, they were singing na 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 na. It was hilarious.
Oh man,
that shit was good.
The biggest pop of the night was when he said that he might be stepping away, or at least for me. At least I heard a Steve Austin entrance type of pop, but maybe that was just in my head. I don't know. The other stuff, with the Hurt Syndicate. And
you heard a CM Punk in Chicago pop.
Exactly. What happened here with MJF? I guess he joined their celebration, the Hurt Syndicate celebration. It was kind of funny the way he joined, and then at the end of the day, they still didn't vote for him to join the group, so he's not really in the group, and that continues that whole saga.
But Shelton Benjamin is softening his stance. At the end, he was like, "Well, he is kind of funny, right?"
Yeah, he said something about that. He is kind of funny.
Backstage, they were talking about MJF. Bobby Lashley's like, I just don't like him. I don't trust him. And Shelton's like, well, he's kind of funny though. So that was the first crack in their armor.
Because MVP wants him, right? So, but do they all have to vote yes? I don't know. I don't know how
they all have to vote yes. I think Shelton's gonna vote yes. Lashley's gonna be the last one that's gonna be hard to convince that they gotta vote yes. So all right, this is okay too. This to me is acceptable. I'm digging this, but the whole Death Riders Young Bucks thing, again, we're all holding our breath for it to just end. Basically, FTR's heel turn. I don't want to talk about that one.
No.
Owen Hart Cup, men and women.
God, no.
Yeah, so, all right then. That's it for AEW. Bro. Good luck to y'all. Let's move along. Let's move on to retro reviews. I got a few clips that you're going to really like here. 2 clips in particular. So this is the end of our series, man. We've come a long way. So we've done WWF post SummerSlam 1996. Up until October 27th, because we were trying to catch up to October 28th, actually. We're trying to catch up to where we got up to in our WCW reviews, which is exactly this day, October 28th, 1996. So we're going to stop right here, and we're going to end our series of WWF post SummerSlam, and we're going to start a new series whenever we come back, where we're going to do the Monday Night Wars, WCW and WWF together, alternatively. But for right now, we've caught up to where we are. We've also reviewed this day in WCW. This was a cool day in WCW. This was the first day Sting was in the rafters. First time, the week before he debuted as Crow Sting, this was the first time he was in the rafters. The night before, Roddy Piper showed up, so Hogan cut a promo on Roddy Piper debuting. Jeff Jarrett's feuding with NWO's The Giant, so Jeff Jarrett, who they keep mentioning on WWF TV. Nick Patrick and Jericho having a thing, and Nick Patrick also with Teddy Long having a thing. So
those were great.
Good show over here on Nitro. But this show today we're watching on WWF isn't that bad.
No.
Actually, it's pretty damn good. We've been following the whole Bret Hart and Stone Cold challenging him to a match. But before I get to that, I wanted to play a bonus clip, Robert, from WWF Superstars. So this was the night before, the same day as Halloween Havoc, where Hogan fought the Macho Man. So I got a clip from Superstars with Stone Cold and Brian Pillman. So hold up, let me pull this up for you. And we'll do a little watch-along mode. If anyone wants to zoom in the corner, this is the best we could do. We can't play videos full screen here on YouTube, unfortunately. But here we go. Sorry, I gotta take the picture of that Continental Champion off.
Oh no, not Okada.
Special guest right now, a close friend and the 1996 King of the Ring winner, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
So that's the voice of Brian Pillman, Lexus King's father, as you know, Robert. And he's inviting his friend Stone Cold in for an interview because he's been recovering from injury. So it seems Vince McMahon has been giving him, like, you know, segments to host in the ring for interviews just to keep him involved and stuff.
Austin.
Well, this should be a most interesting interview. I know that Austin's got a lot to say about the return of Bret the Hitman Hart. The man that Austin will meet November the 17th in Madison Square Garden.
Jack with the little kids in the audience. But okay, I'm going to skip the ring walk entrances because we want to save some time here. So here we go with the interview, Robert.
Friends a long time. I probably know you better than anybody else. That's why I know how excited you must be with the announcement live on Raw that Bret Hart is going to come out of this semi-retirement and answer your challenge at Survivor Series. It's finally going to be your chance to prove yourself.
I sure as hell saw how excited you were when you jumped out of your chair like some kind of cheerleader. So don't even start talking yet, because I ain't through, son. Then you went out there and you shook his hand. It ain't time to start kissing up to Bret Hart yet, because he ain't yet lived up to the biggest challenge of his life. And shut up. I ain't never had to prove myself to nobody.
Now, Steve, I know how frustrated you are. I know the disappointments you've had throughout your career. It's understandable. You're a little bit hot at me. I got caught up in the moment. I'm very emotional. I was excited that I was going to finally get to see you answer a lifelong dream at Survivor Series in the city that never sleeps, the most famous arena in the world, Madison Square Garden.
And you can listen to me, you little crippled freak.
Hey, come on.
Everybody knows
And
that
some
at one
heel heat
time
there.
I carried you to a world championship. Everybody knows that one time you rode in my back pocket.
Wow.
Madison Square Garden, Bret Hart, you're going to find out. Bret Hart's going to find out. The whole damn world's going to find out. I will do exactly what I say. I am going to whip his ass.
Well, there you have it. Austin versus the best there was, the best there is, and that best there ever.
Hey, wait a minute! Wow! What a cheap shot by Austin! Didn't want to
How
hear
dare you
that.
call him the best there is, the
cheap
best
shot
there
on
was,
Brian
there ever,
Pillman.
best there ever will be.
Pillman.
That's his name, though, literally.
Assaulted here by Austin.
That's what he says.
Been stomping away.
Vlad, what do you think? Did Pillman deserve to get attacked there? Was he was he on Bret's side? Was he kind of talking up Bret there too much in front of Stone Cold, or what?
Yeah, I think
Was that innocent, or was he trying to kind of needle Stone Cold there a little bit?
I think he did enough to get attacked. I'll tell you that. He did enough. First, he celebrates when he announces that he's coming back. Then I guess he greeted him or whatever. They didn't show that on the show, but and then this interview was the final thing for Stone Cold to go nuts.
Oh no!
But I do remember this.
Hitting him with his cane for whoever's just listening out there, but he grabs his cane and starts beating up. He's already crippled, so Brian Pillman's like out with injury because he was supposedly in a car accident. Yeah, so he was still recovering. So Stone Cold is beating up on a crippled guy here, a guy who can't really walk. He's been walking with a cane. So
I don't care to get out of wrestling if you can't defend yourself. It's the World Wrestling Federation.
Mr. Perfect, by the way, on commentary on Superstars, who just did that swerve on Monday night against Mark Miro. So he's rooting Stone Cold on here. He's in the Jesse Ventura role where he's
Well, this is how they came up with the term, the Pillmanize his leg or whatever they say now. When people do this all the time, right?
Oh my God, that was Gerald Briscoe thrown out of the ring.
That was a great little, yeah. He flew out of there, bro.
Oh my God. This is the first time someone ever put someone's foot inside the steel chair, and
I'm not sure if it's the first time, but this is where the term comes from, where they say he Pillmanized his leg.
Interesting. All right, so there's some wrestlers coming from the back to stop Stone Cold, and Pillman is writhing in pain, screaming in pain.
He's so intense with Bret Hart.
All right, I'm going to skip forward a little bit. I'm going to skip to, because here's Stone Cold walking to the back, proud of himself like a badass, huh? He's such an outlaw. He doesn't give a fuck. So they're going to come back from commercials, Robert, and they're still going to have to be putting Pillman in the hospital, or in a gurney, or he's like vomiting here. He's so in pain.
As soon as we can, let's take a commercial break. This is won't surprise me if Monsoon now suspends Stone Cold. Let me get some medics out here. Well, I'm no doctor. I hate to speculate, but I would bet money that Pillman's ankle has been rebroken. Thanks to Stone Cold Steve Austin. Look at Pillman. We really need to take a break.
All right, back from commercials. This is when they come back from commercials. This is happening on Superstars, on the B show, huh? What do you think of that, Vlad?
Ladies and gentlemen, we're trying to get Brian.
Yeah, that's
Tune in at
They should
10
have done
a.m.
this on Raw.
This definitely should have been on a Raw.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Well, they got more stuff better than this coming on Raw, but
They have some good stuff on Raw. Yeah.
That severely injured ankle.
all right. So the refs and the officials are pushing Stone Cold to the back, and he does leave. And I think, let me see, what do I got here? They got to put, what's his name, Brian Pillman in a gurney and take him to the back. All right, so I'm going to play the scene from a little later on the show, Robert, when they're putting Brian Pillman into the ambulance.
Brian Pillman being loaded into the ambulance, obviously.
This is a good
the nearest hospital
2-minute clip. 2 minutes, Robert.
You're talking about intense pain. Brian
end the
Pillman
show.
is almost in convulsions. They need to treat him right away. Well, Pillman's ankle was literally destroyed in a car accident several months ago. He was walking, as you saw, into the ring with the aid of a cane. And whether you like the man or not, you hate to see a career end this way. And let's go to break. As a matter of fact, let's take a break right now, ladies and gentlemen. The ambulance is leaving on its way out the exit.
Listen closely to the car screech right now.
Wait a minute. Wait, keep it here. Keep it here. Somebody's blocking the exit. It's Stone Cold. Stone Cold Steve Austin's blocked the exit in that car. He's not done yet. Come on. Austin.
What the hell?
What What is he? Austin is blocking the exit way. Well,
all right, well, I gotta describe some of this in case someone's just listening. So he's Stone Cold stopped the ambulance. He's parked his car in front of it, and he's sticking his head through the back. There's only one guy in there. Why doesn't he grab him, Vlad, and fucking beat that guy up and continue beating up? He's kind of respectful here, really. But let me press play and just see.
Oh yeah, later on, you would probably do that for sure.
The EMT wants Austin's car keys to move that car.
This guy, an actual grown adult man, shows up and he's like, "Bro, we gotta take this man to the hospital. What are you doing?"
He's asking for his car keys.
Yeah, he needs his keys to move his car.
Austin threw his car keys. He threw his car keys. We need to somebody get those keys and move that car. I mean, the damage has been done. Bret Hart's return has driven Stone Cold Steve Austin absolutely insane here. Come on, that's enough. I mean, boy, Austin,
there's Brian
there'll be some
Hebner.
repercussions for this.
I don't think anybody wants a part of Stone Cold.
I'm a Stone Cold Steve Austin fan, but I don't agree with this action right here.
I agree. I agree with you.
Even Mr. Perfect is saying, no, this is too far.
Yeah, I'm a Stone Cold fan myself, and being aggressive and everything else, but Pillman is hurt.
They've got the keys, and Austin's car is being moved. Brian Pillman being transported to the hospital. This is, folks, we'll be.
There you go. What'd you guys think of that? Nice. I have a rating for this on my review. I got a 2 thumbs up for this one.
Yeah,
really like that.
This was a great segment.
All right.
Yeah,
have you seen that scene, Robert?
I don't remember seeing that. Maybe I didn't really watch Superstars at that time. I don't know, but I don't remember that. Maybe like if I replays it.
Yes, they did replay it the next night on Raw. Obviously, they're like, you're not going to believe what happened last night. So, okay.
Yeah, I remember definitely him attacking Pillman. I just don't think I ever saw the whole stuff with the ambulance, which was also really good. Yeah.
I don't see why he stuck his head in there and he didn't actually grab Pillman. That was a little weird, but okay. It was kind of cool that he was being so disruptive, but he didn't quite go as far as he could have. Do you think he should get suspended? Because as I haven't showed you, and we talked about Mr. Perfect's swerve last week on Mark Miro, Gorilla Monsoon actually suspended Mr. Perfect for that swerve. So should he suspend Stone Cold?
Well, yeah, obviously he didn't. If we're going by that, if that's the.
Yeah, well, Mr. Perfect got suspended from competing in the ring, but I guess he got to do commentary even. So I don't know, but okay, it's all screwed up.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know anything about that, but no, obviously he should be suspended if it was. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Let's just move on. I'm not even sure what the question is anymore.
All right, well, Monday Night Raw. Let's go on to the main event. So that was a bonus clip from Superstars. So Monday Night Raw, I might gloss over some other storylines, but I'm gonna jump to the Stone Cold Bret Hart stuff on this one as well. So hold on one second. Let me set up the next clip. Sorry about this. All right. So Robert, they did right when the show starts. They do replay it, right?
I probably saw. Yeah, I must have seen this.
Steve Austin into
the black and white replay.
Imagine this is what Stone Cold did to his alleged best friend Brian Pillman. Yeah, that's right. This is how Austin treats his friends. Imagine what he'll do to Bret Hart at Survivor Series. And there's Bret. Yes, the Hitman joining us live from his living room in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, and also live from the WWF studios in Stamford, Connecticut. Stone Cold Steve Austin. And when he talks, everybody listens. And ladies and gentlemen, in action, the World Wrestling Federation champion, Shawn Michaels.
All right, who cares about Shawn Michaels? All right, so we're here for the Stone Cold and Bret stuff. I'll gloss over what happened with Shawn Michaels later, just to tell you what happened. But this night is all about Stone Cold and Bret, which is, dude, Vlad, for everything that we talk about WCW and how great they were, this stands up. This is competition. Stone Cold and Bret, they got it going on this episode. All right, so I'll jump to a little later in the show. So Alfred Hayes is there trying to announce matches for Survivor Series. So he's doing like a read-through, and Stone Cold is going to interrupt him and just jump into this segment.
I'm real pumped about Survivor Series. First of all, the whole Survivor Series weekend. It kicks off Saturday night, November 16th, at the beautiful Marriott Marquis with the Hall of Fame banquet. 8 new members will be inducted into the Hall of Fame.
We already got a problem here, man, because nobody cares about 8 old farts getting a trophy handed to them. And don't you dare sit there like a jackass with a pair of blinders on and ignore Stone Cold. You get me on the camera and do your damn job.
All right, Doc, go ahead.
All right, let's talk about the Survivor Series card as we know it now. Madison Square Garden, November 17th. First of all, you will...
Yeah, dude, what are these guys thinking going along with their show? Don't they know what's important? They got to get Stone Cold on the air. All right.
It sounds as demented as Steve Austin.
Well, he's right. Haven't you been watching this show with me, dude? This whole series we've been doing post SummerSlam has been garbage until they're letting Stone Cold talk. That's probably why they didn't suspend him, because they need his ass on the show. Anyways.
And that's kind of what he said. He says that.
Yeah.
So he says that later on.
Here's the end of Alfred Hayes' read-through, and Stone Cold comes back in.
Hoisted high above Madison Square Garden, inside of a steel cage. And of course, you will see the 1996 King of the Ring Award winner, Stone Cold Steve Austin, meet the excellence of execution. We have already seen Stone Cold live here in the studio. We know that Bret is live at home in Calgary. What
At home? He's live at home in Calgary.
Well, because that's where they
What the hell do you mean he's in Calgary? You flew me all the way from Texas here.
I didn't do it.
Just things like this that's going to get someone's ass kicked, Doc. That's the bottom line. And the bottom line to Bret Hart is at Madison Square Garden, Stone Cold Steve Austin is going to whip your ass.
Sorry, Doc, for the interruption. Nonetheless, all that and more will happen.
Doc Hendricks, I guess they call him here, not Lord Alfred Hayes, right?
Lord Alfred Hayes is somebody else.
Oh, my bad. Okay. He does look like him.
Slightly. Yeah, that's kind of funny, but yeah, no.
Okay, my bad. Doc Hendricks, excuse me. I will change that on my review sheet.
Extraordinary athletes and live.
Later on, Robert.
There he is, the hitman Bret Hart, scheduled to join us, and Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Bret just playing
makeup. Anything can happen here in the
Oh, man.
That was awesome. That was a perfect segment, dude. That was like the perfect dichotomy.
Oh, yes.
Bret just sitting there like petting his cat, and Stone Cold like fucking scaring away the makeup lady. Oh my God, so good. So good.
Anything can happen here in the world. We won't see Mr. Perfect in the ring anytime soon, but we will see Stone Cold Steve Austin, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, and there he is, live in our WWF studios. Mr. Austin, can you hear us?
Yeah, stop jerking me around, bitch. You bring me on the air, and then you don't want to give me no airtime.
You're going to get airtime.
What are you cutting me off for? Well, this is a rib, right? You're kidding me, right?
Stone Cold is trying to freaking do business here, and these guys are trying to do their ridiculous show, you know? Anyways, moving along. Here's an interesting thing. Brian Pillman from his home next week.
I remember this.
Everybody remembers this.
I think this is.
I can't believe we're going on hiatus right at this point, right when shit is getting good. Actually,
actually that's true. Things are getting good, but this is not really one of those moments. But yes, this is a moment everybody still talks about.
Satellite, just to be Bret Hart live from Calgary next week, ladies and gentlemen. Joining us, the injured Brian Pillman, live from his home in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Whoa!
Joining us now.
Live from his home. What do you mean you're going to go live from his home? You go to Bret's house, you go to Brian's house. Well, why didn't you go to Victoria, Texas, and come to my house?
Well, Mr. Austin, you are...
No, shut up. If anybody's going to Brian's house next week, well, you can damn well bet that Stone Cold Steve Austin's going to be there, because if you're going to have a with some crippled freak, you can bet I'll be there, and that's the bottom line.
Don't you think you've done enough to Brian Pillman?
What do you mean done enough? What do you mean done enough?
Let's take you back. All right, let's show you the footage that happened. WWF Superstars just yesterday. Here we go. Now let's listen.
Okay, so we did watch this, so I'm going to skip forward.
Went out in the emergency vehicle. You stopped the progress of the emergency vehicle with that car. You wouldn't let him go. You wouldn't let him take him to the hospital.
Well, that's because if they were going to take him anywhere, they should have carried his ass to the cemetery, because if he comes back,
Damn, dude.
Are you telling me you're going to go to Pillman's house? You live at Pillman's house?
Hey, when you get jerked around as long as I have, and when the WWF starts jerking you around, you got to do what you got to do.
Is that
and
right?
Brian Pillman's going to get a house call.
What kind of a man are you? What kind of a man would do that to his best friend? What kind of a creep are you?
See, here's the thing. Brian Pillman forgot. DTA, brother. Don't trust anybody.
Right.
You thought I was your friend. You were the biggest pup in the world, and I had the strings, and there you were.
He was a crippled
Damn.
man.
That's right. He's still a crippled man, and he's got that stupid, raspy voice with 33 third operation. Who really gives a rat's ass about all that? It's Stone Cold's time. Shut up.
Why hasn't Gorilla Monsoon taken action against you?
Why do you keep asking me stupid questions? Because you know, Vince, the Gorilla Monsoon is just a puppet. That's all. You know you're the one that's pulling all the strings here. You're the boss. Why don't you do something to me?
Because something...
No, shut up. I'll tell you why. Because you're a greedy, selfish promoter, and you know Stone Cold and Bret Hart are going to get it on in the biggest match of the decade, and you don't want to miss out. You're going to fill your back pocket full, son. But listen to this. I would
has
make
a
a lot of money
point.
for this match, but I'd just as soon kick his ass for free.
All right, in any event, Stone Cold
Man.
Steve Austin.
Oh, I gotta pause that
Steve
'cause-
Austin's.
dude,
I mean, unbelievable. Like, yes, he is such an amazing talent.
I marked this as the beginning of the Stone Cold Vince McMahon feud. Subplot.
Potential. Well, not
You
yet.
agree because you're a greedy, selfish promoter. You're just trying to make money. You're gonna make a lot of money off me, dude. This is the beginning. I would put this as literally the first scene in the Vince Stone Cold feud.
Potentially, you could, but I don't think I would say this is where it started.
I mean, you could
You could say this is the
say
origin.
you could say that the seed was planted here, but
Yeah.
like I don't know, I wouldn't really count it as the beginning until I think the first stunner that he gave Vince. I can't remember which episode.
He's mistreating his boss, bro. He's treating his boss like shit. He doesn't respect him at all. This is like, you know, and obviously Vince is not suspending him because he needs his ass for business, because WCW is kicking their ass, and this is the only hope they've got, and they're sending him out there and they're giving him the ball. So that's,
Yeah, and he's not only running with it, he's killing it out there. Been tremendous. He's been tremendous. Everything that you've showed so far, he's been tremendous.
all right. I got the face-to-face, Robert. It's 5 minutes. Bret Hart and Stone Cold. So after that, we just got a 2-minute clip to close the show, and that's it for the videos we got.
Big from the bar. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Bret the Hitman Hart. Stone Cold Steve Austin. Gentlemen, we thank
This is fucking great, by the way. I love this.
you so much for your patience.
Right.
And Bret, let's get the first question, if you don't mind, to you. Some say that the reason you took so long in making up your mind to come back to action here in the World Wrestling Federation, well, there are a number of reasons, but principal among them is that you knew that Steve Austin was the man who has challenged you. And my question is, whether or not, is that one of the reasons why you were reticent to make up your mind?
No, not at all. I think what you're looking at 12 years, and if you really want to add on even more years than that, you can, because I've grown up with wrestling my whole life, and you're looking at 12 years without any kind of a break of being physically mauled by giants and great wrestlers for years and years and years, and it just took its toll.
Yeah.
And I'll be the first one to say that Steve Austin, Stone Cold, is a great wrestler, and I knew immediately upon seeing him that I was going to be dealing with a very, very tough wrestler. But as far as, he had nothing to do with my decision to step back from wrestling. None whatsoever.
Basically, loosely translated, you're saying, yes, Vince, I'm afraid Stone Cold is going to kick my ass. That's what you're saying.
That's not what you're saying, is it, Bret?
Yeah, somehow you need to clean that up a bit.
Yeah, I think
As far as you kicking my ass.
There you go.
you maybe should think twice about that. I don't know if you got what it takes to kick my ass. I've actually recuperated. I've been off. I'm ready for this match.
But Bret, if I may,
I'm better than I've ever been.
Sure. If I can ask you this, what about the fact that you have not been in the ring for some 6 months, and there must be some ring rust? Would it not have been more wise for you to accept a match with a lesser individual rather than Stone Cold Steve Austin?
Right. Answer.
You know, I don't see it that way. I mean, sure, there might be a little ring rust. Maybe there won't be. No one's gonna know till I get in the ring how good or bad the 5 months off has affected my wrestling style. But I don't really care. I want to go in and I want to accomplish a lot of things in the World Wrestling Federation starting right now. And what better way to do it than take on Stone Cold, who I think, and I said it before on my live interview, and I'll say it again right now, is the best wrestler in the World Wrestling Federation until November 17th.
But if Steve Austin defeats you, I mean, obviously this man has great confidence in himself. He would not have challenged you. He's trying to make a name for himself. This is like a gunslinger type situation where indeed you've got a reputation. He wants to live off of your reputation, and if he defeats you in Madison Square Garden, the question is then, will you continue your comeback here in the WWF?
Well, I mean, that's a very likely possibility, and you know what, I've thought about that, and I'm willing to accept whatever happens in that match, you know, and if I come up short, then I'm just going to get right back up on my horse like a gunfighter, and you know,
well, see, here's the deal. Shut up. Here's the deal. Win, lose, draw, Bret. It ain't over. It ain't over. You're never going to get through with Stone Cold Steve Austin. You're going to have to kill me first, son, and that's the bottom line, and it's the truth. Win, lose, or draw, I will always be on your ass.
Well, that's why I'm the excellence of execution.
Yeah, whatever.
You wear a hood while you get assassinated. Or
I'm the best there is, I'm the best there was, and I'm the best there ever will be, and you're going to find that out firsthand, son. Say something.
You know, everyone thinks that because I'm coming back that I have this built-up impression in my head that I'm going to clean up the WWF. I know better than anyone else that it's going to be a real hard job. And,
Bret, we thank you so much for joining us. We're
it's
running
Austin's
out of time.
house now.
All right, thank you very much for joining us. Bret the Hitman Hart.
No. You can tell him to go kiss off, but I've been here all night, and I ain't leaving yet. And you can stop counting me down, because I done told you once, son. We got a damn problem.
Hey, wait a minute.
No more. That ain't gonna work.
There's a production assistant.
Ran through my long shot. You don't count me down.
What is that?
Nobody counts me down. You want your precious minors? You think it's all fun and games for Stone Cold? It ain't. It ain't fun and games for somebody else.
Oh, man.
What the hell, man? Bret Hart was so cerebral. Like he would just let like Stone Cold talk shit and be disrespectful, and he just wouldn't care. Like he's just so experienced. I love how he handled himself here. That's how everyone should handle themselves all the time when people are being fucking like low life disrespectful pricks around them. Like what a class act. I'll say that.
Easier said than done. That's for sure.
I know.
Both guys played their parts perfectly. Like Bret as the ultimate guy, and Steve Austin is just a guy that's gotten absolutely nuts heel. But yeah, it was good. It was a very good segment. Very, very strong.
Yes. And Stone Cold saying, "You'll never be done with me. Like, I don't care about this match. Like, this is going to be a war, son."
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Yes, their feud, it was one of my favorites. Hopefully we get back to it when we come back from our hiatus. But, yeah.
All right, so, Robert, later on what happens is there's a match, the main event. It's Shawn Michaels and the British Bulldog. But forget that. Listen to what the commentators have to say about, because Stone Cold attacked that production guy afterwards.
Right.
I don't know if...
All over Shawn Michaels. And we'll take a look at this double feature. And by the way, again, ladies and gentlemen, we can confirm now that the police have indeed been called. That security guard has called the police on Stone Cold Steve Austin, who apparently is still raising hell. And look at this. Michael Michaels is in trouble. Stay with us as Raw continues.
That's pretty good. This is good shit going up against WCW, man. Someone called the police on Stone Cold. All right, so the main event is over, Robert, and we got like 1 minute left on the show. Here it is.
Okay.
Just to get his hands on Bret Hart. And again, we are live. And that same security guard.
You can't do nothing to Stone Cold because Vince McMahon won't let nothing happen to me.
What?
You got to understand I'm a star.
He thinks he can do it. Do you see the police? Oh, I'll tell you, this man is going to be in trouble. They're going to take him away in handcuffs.
You guys want?
Stone, we'll see you 1 hour earlier.
Calm down.
Next week, 7:57.
You need to calm down, Mr. Stone Cold.
Mr. Stone Cold, calm yourself.
All right. So this is how I reviewed this storyline here on my Raw review. I got the Stone Cold satellite face-off with Bret Hart ends with Stone Cold assaulting production crew and law enforcement being called in. That's how I summarized this storyline here today. I got the subplots, as I call them: Stone Cold attacking Pillman, and then Stone Cold arguing with Vince, and then obviously the interview with Bret, and then him getting out of control and getting arrested. For all that, I gave 5 points on my rating system. Fire! That was awesome. That's as good as it gets, man. That's as good as it gets. All right, let's hear some comments from y'all. Vlad, Robert, who wants to make comments on this amazing classic footage of Stone Cold and Bret Hart and everything that we just saw?
That segment when Stone Cold was arguing with Vince McMahon, that right there I would rate that as fire. That was incredible.
Okay. Right.
Him and Bret Hart, that was really good too. I don't know if I'd give that a fire, but that was really good. Maybe I'll give that a loved it rating. So yeah, I mean, this is all around really, really good. The stuff where he attacked the production assistant, I mean, yeah, that was crazy, but I know what happens in Brian Pillman's house, and that's what happens in this scene is not compared to what happens later.
Yeah.
It does not compare.
Yeah, that's true. That whole thing is going to be insane. But this was amazing. All of this was fantastic. I'm glad they've kind of allowed Steve Austin to be Steve Austin. I mean, he is an amazing talent that was wasted for many years. I think every time he keeps saying that he was being jerked around and all that stuff, all that stuff is true. All that stuff is true, and he was wasted the first couple of years in WWF with the stupid gimmick, and now he's allowed to kind of be his chaotic self. He's amazing, honestly. He's easily, and his facials are incredible, like as well. You know, I talked about Paul Heyman's facials, but here when he was listening to Bret, his eyes were like locked in, and then some of the stuff that he was doing was hilarious as well. Yeah, the back and forth with Vince and the stuff with Bret, all tremendous. Yeah, I mean, this was, if I had to rate it, I think I would have to say it was a fire segment.
Cool. All right, well, that'll conclude our SummerSlam post-1996 reviews. I have the rest of the storylines from Raw. Nothing really much, Robert. I mean, the real Double J was there. The Road Dogg, Jesse James, he had a win, which I didn't really care for. I mean, I could run through the rest of it just real quick. Oh, the SummerSlam Survivor Series teams got announced. No real build up to it. They just announced some heels and some faces. Yeah, The Rock is over here with Mark Henry and Mark Miro and the Stalker.
That's his debut.
Is it?
Yeah, it's his debut.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, there was no build up to this either. They just chose some heels and they chose some faces. So I don't know. Didn't like
how is the guy named the Stalker a face?
I have no clue. That's a dumb Survivor Series match. Like, we will not review that. I don't care.
Yeah.
What else? Undertaker and Mankind, during that Doc Hendricks announcements, they just announced another match for them at Survivor Series. They're going to have a match with Paul Bearer hung above the ring, I guess. I don't know.
Yes, I kind of vaguely remember this. Mm-hmm.
What else? Crush, who again, he got offended at another fan, and he got in a fight with the fan in security again, because the fans keep calling him Jailbird and stuff like that. So that's another thing they're doing. With Bryan Adams, they've continued that. Mark Miro, who was Swerve last week, he was on the phone this time, and he vowed revenge on Triple H and Mr. Perfect, but nothing really much there in depth. Farouk is gonna file a lawsuit on Ahmed Johnson for attacking him, and he's got Clarence Mason as his lawyer now. So I guess they announced that.
Lawsuit.
Yeah.
Who is he really, Drake?
Well, that's also what Vince McMahon said about Crush when he attacked the security guard. He was like, "There's gonna be a lawsuit," and then Stone Cold 2 attacked another production crew. There's gonna be a lot of lawsuits stemming from this episode. What else? Billy Gunn broke up with Bart Gunn because he's trying to get with Sonny. That finally happened on this episode, but I'm glossing over it. I don't really care for it to really talk about it. The main event was Shawn Michaels and British Bulldog. Good match. Great workers.
Yeah.
And then Sid also once again had to come in and save him from a beatdown. And then for some reason, Owen Hart challenged Sid and Shawn Michaels to a tag team title match. He offered to defend his tag team titles against Sid and Shawn Michaels, which I didn't really get that. But okay, that's how the show ended, and those were all the storylines. From that day, I think because of the Stone Cold and Bret Hart stuff, that really puts them almost on par with me to WCW. WCW is still better overall. Like, the overall show is still way, way better. But at least they got something here that's like A-level. So, and that's the first time I've really seen that so far since we've been covering the WWF in 1996. So this is a turning point, and it's funny that it landed on the last episode of our show here.
Agreed.
So, all right, Robert, Vlad, thank you for being here. It is late. I think we got to go to sleep. We got one more episode to do. So we're going to watch WrestleMania next week at my house, and then
real quick before we go, I just
WrestleMania review.
Braun Breaker's spear has to be mentioned as something that just before we go.
Oh yeah,
honorable mention. Honorable mention.
That was a very crazy looking spear.
That was one of the most amazing things I've ever seen in my life.
Because he did like a front flip after that or something, like in midair or after.
I mean, it looked literally like it was a rocket.
Yeah.
That was launched into poor Carlito.
Did you see Carlito's tweet?
Yes, but he was dead, right?
Later on, he's inviting everyone to his funeral service and stuff.
That's not cool.
I know.
Oh,
well, we'll see. Carlito might have some involvement at WrestleMania somehow. He could take a big bump from somebody. Maybe they'll do it again. But all right, guys, that's enough for this show. Episode 156 in the books. 157 will be the last Malapert Smark podcast for a while. So enjoy it while you can. And unless anyone has anything else to say, I will just remind everyone, subscribe, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Thank you very much.
Turn on the lights, feel the beat. Press and tails can't be beat. Join the crew, take your seat. Welcome to the Wrestle Heat. Malapert Smark, time to fly. Stories don't catch your eye. Talking champs till we die. The Smarks always high. Fights and myths always say. Heroes rise, villains sway. In the ring, night and day. Wrestling talk, come and stay. Malapert Smark, time to fly. Stories don't catch your eye. Talking champs till we die. With the Smarks always high. Cheer, all the news you wanna hear. Wealth and fame always near. With the crew, have no fear. Malapert Smark, time to fly. Stories don't catch your eye. Talking champs till we die. The Smarks always high. always high.